everyone. Thank you for being here and thank you for your patience. We are so sorry. We had like a technical glitches. It was crazy. We like tried to start this live like 4 or 5 times.
But it's better late
Okay.
than never. So
Yes.
here we
So
go.
thank you for your patience. We are here right now. Marnie, how are you doing today?
Oh, I'm doing awesome. I'm wearing a sweater. It got rather chilly down here. So in the southeast, it snowed in
Yes.
Florida on Sunday, which is hardly ever heard of, sort of thing. So it's an interesting week, energy wise.
Yes.
Whole bunches of
Yes.
stuff flying around.
Yes. So, hi everyone. Thank you for being here. If you're familiar with our lives, you know the deal, right? So, if you're not familiar with our lives, we talk about spirituality, how it relates to your relationship with yourself, with others. We talk about all the emotional stuff and well-being, about people pleasing, needing an external validation, low self-esteem, and whatnot. So, this is your safe place. So, go ahead and ask your questions in the chat. As long as it's legal, we can talk about it right here. So go ahead and do it. So, Mani, today's topic, are you feeling trapped in your mind? We all do, right? So do you sometimes feel like your mind just don't stop and you're trapped inside your own thoughts, right? And
Yep.
you're spinning out of control and you're like, oh my God. And it affects your, emotions and you just having like a bad day because all those thoughts, right? They just don't stop.
It's a
What do you think
down
about this
spiral,
one?
and it's a down spiral sort of thing, and it's
Oh
also
my
it's
goodness.
a you know self-replicating loop that you just get
Yeah.
stuck
So
in,
you're
sort of thing.
you're not alone, right? You're not alone, and it doesn't matter how much spiritually evolved you are. It's not going to leave you, right?
It's part of the human experience, really.
Right, right. Okay, so in this live, we're going to talk about why you keep feeling trapped in your mind and what you can do to make it stop once and for all. Okay, so I'm
Huh.
gonna make like an announcement, Marnie.
Okay.
If you want to make it stop once and for all, you need to not want to make it stop once and for all. it's kind of a paradox, right?
A lot of the stuff that we've been taught is a complete and total flip 180 from
Right,
what the truth really is, sort of thing. We're being kept in a state that is not really beneficial for us. It's not how we're supposed to
right.
live, but that's what we're indoctrinated into. And for a time,
Yes,
until we get self aware, this is what we think life is.
yes. So, hi everyone. So, you
Hi.
feel paralyzed and you feel overwhelmed by your own thoughts and you don't even know what to do. And you think that you're the only one who experienced it, but everyone experienced it, right? And, they give it, if you like buy a new appliance, they give you like a manual, right? Even the little appliance, but for your mind, they say it's the most complicated machine and stuff. No one really gave us the manual to our mind, right?
Exactly.
And so usually the problem with the thought that they create emotion, right? And if we experience like negative emotions, most likely we thought about a negative thought, right? Hi everyone, good to see you, right? So what do you think when you are the first key when you experience like overthinking or you think like overwhelmed by your mind? The first thing is just to be aware. Like
Yes.
awareness is everything because the problem starts with when we don't have the awareness, right? Because when we don't have the awareness, you are so identify yourself with your thoughts, right? And you believe everything is going through your mind, and that's the problem. Where is the problem begins, right?
So it's a don't, the first step is noticing when you start having those thoughts and becoming
Mhm.
aware of them and not being afraid of the down spiral that those thoughts want to take you down, sort of thing. The overthinking is just, it's the ego part of the mind that wants to keep you safe because that's its number one job. It's its only job.
Right.
It's got to keep you alive. So it wants to run through every
Exactly.
kind of disaster scenario to make sure that you can survive this, right? And it
Exactly.
and our subconscious doesn't have the ability to accept or reject. It takes what we give it, sort of thing. So now the body's trying to figure out fight or flight mode, like this downward spiral, this overthinking that we're going, is this, can we survive this? Well, while all that's going on, it really takes a little bit of practice to be able to go, let's stop, let's calm down, let's see where this thought is coming from, and see where it is that I feel this thought. Do I feel like constricted in my throat? Like, is
Right.
this gonna, yeah, it's it's a whole thing, but it's like a muscle. You have to continually exercise
Exactly.
taking control over your mind when it goes on that autopilot overthinking downward spiral. So
Exactly.
lots to talk about. Hi,
Right.
Stephanie.
And guys, hi everyone. If you have questions, feel free to ask in the chat. We're talking about today about overthinking. And so the problem with overthinking and you feeling trapped in your own mind and in your own thought is that it creates a trigger, right? When
Hmm.
you overthink about, sometimes a lot of the time it creates like trigger, and sometimes it's like a repeating trigger, right? So sometimes, so the first key is to be aware. Start to observe your mind and start to observe your thoughts, and start ask yourself questions about this trigger, right? Because sometimes it's just something, I'm sorry, that we don't want to face, right?
Yes.
So it's,
Yeah.
and we try to avoid it and to run away. But you know what the paradox is? If we try to run away from our thoughts or from our triggers, it comes back to haunt us. Unless you're going to face it, it's not going to run away, to go away. I'm sorry, it's not going to go away unless you face it, right? It's like you have, like I said it before, like you have like a monster. You think that you have a monster under your bed, and you just have to take a look and to see there is no monster, that everything is good, and it's like all the fear and all the anxiety just disappear, right? So it's the same way. So I have like something that I want to share, that it will help me to make those intrusive thoughts like just to go away. I think it's from the, because our consciousness is like we talked about it yesterday. It's like a fuel, right? Because when we put our focus on like a negative thought, we actually fuel it, right?
Yep.
Because you send it energy. But sometimes I find it's from the book The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, that just by, if you focus for a little bit, for a little while on those negative thoughts, they're going to go away. Just let's say, okay, that you have like a really negative thought. So like for me, like I can feel like unease, or something is like something negative, and something like I feel like something is off, like for the all, like for all, for the rest of the day, like for all the day. And I'm telling myself, you know what, okay, I don't want to face it, but I have to face it. So okay, so I see you, like I talk to the emotion, I see you sadness. Okay, I just give him the attention that it needs, right? And you know what happens? So I'm not focused on it for like 2 hours, just for a few seconds. And you know what happens? It starts to dissipate. It's
And
like,
so
it's like magic.
yeah, it's like once you address it, like you said, it's like walking into a dark room and turning on the light. The dark goes away, sort of thing. It's a cause and effect. So when you acknowledge where it is that this overthinking is coming from, you stop the process and you ask yourself, what set this off? Where is it coming from? Like, and then just take yourself out of that fight or flight mode and analyze, put the light on it, address it,
Right.
acknowledge it, talk to it if you have to. Basically, I mean, I talk to myself because occasionally I need good answers. We all
Yeah,
talk to ourselves.
and And
So,
our energy, our consciousness is like a laser beam. So that's why it's really tricky, because on the you can, ask me more, but you're saying like embrace your thought and just be friends with your thought. And on the other way, you tell like just, take your consciousness and put your focus on, another thing. So I found that the best formula is to put your attention for a little while, right? And
yep.
then immediately shift your focus for something else, right? It's like a little child. I made this example before. It's like a little child when he's like having a tantrum in the middle of the store, right? And he will scream and he will, and this little child just wants your attention, right? And at the moment that you turn away and you just give him like a look, he's like, stop, right? It's like it's the same. I'm telling you, it's the same because our negative emotions, they just want our attention because a lot of the time they want to, it's like they're like guides. They want to tell us something, that something is off, that something needs our attention. Right? I'm not saying like it's like for from time to time, okay, but it's an ongoing thing. Something needs your attention, and the reason that you keep experience those negative thoughts and keep experience overthinking because there's something that needs your attention, and a lot of the time the answer is just awareness.
Yep. Yep. It needs to be addressed. And I know I brought up this kind of analogy yesterday. So when we're talking about those the overthinking, how it can
Hmm.
blow up really, really quickly sort of thing, but once it's addressed, it dissipates. So I know everybody around the world has seen these like blow up ornaments, and attraction getters, um uh the sort of thing, and they're fueled by, like, a fan blows up a bunch of air, and that ornament expands,
Right,
and then it does the wavy arm thingy, like, hey, come over here. um so that overthinking is a lot like that sort of thing. It wants to get your attention, and once you give it the attention, basically, and you cut the power to that fan, what happens to it? It goes, "Mm."
exactly.
Oh my goodness. So, acknowledging that it is that you're overthinking, and it's the racing thoughts, and you're overanalyzing stuff, and then you're feeling stuck, and you're in this bubble, and it feels like there's no way out, and but there is. So like we were saying, the first step is the awareness. So notice when your thoughts
Right.
are continuing on a doom loop over and over and over,
Hmm.
sort of thing. And the second thing that I thought was a really good point that you brought up when we were talking about this yesterday is, don't, avoid judging yourself for
Hmm.
doing this overthinking, because it's completely normal, because you're used to just letting your mind be able to run and keep you safe and be
Right.
able to do all these things on autopilot. So when you're now questioning it, it's going to be a process. Don't feel bad about dealing with these things, because all of us do.
Right. And it's not even like judging yourself, it's like judging your mind. And I don't even call it my mind, I'm calling it the mind, right?
The mind. Yes.
I don't want to be associated with my mind, there's a mind. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But actually, the mind can be your best friend, right?
It
It can,
can.
if you just plant the right seeds in your mind, it can be your best friend. There's like, I don't know who said it, but your mind is just like a garden, right? If you're not going to attend your garden and you're not going to, like take out all the garbage and the, all the
Weed it
stuff,
out.
yeah, yeah. So what's going to happen? There's going to be a lot of, you know,
It's going to
garbage,
be
unnecessary stuff,
overgrowth.
right?
Oh, yep.
Right. But if you are going, oh, excuse me. Oh my God. I think like Malcolm is bad for day today. So if you are if you are going to attend it, right? It's like a plant to give it sun, you know, to plant the seeds that you want to see grow, right?
Yep,
So
and
it's going to,
it's small
mhm,
habits. It's small habits that build up what
exactly,
it is that you want to achieve, 100%.
exactly. And you know, a lot of the time people want to see like fast results, right? They telling themselves, oh, you know, we want, if you are going to practice like mindfulness or being in the moment, we want to see like, you know, the results now. But it's not. It's something like you're going to change your energy. It's something that you're going to see like over time, right? It's like, I will give you an example. It's like a black coffee. Like if you want to put milk in a black coffee and you put like one drop, you still don't see like the color changes, right? But if you're going to put like another drop and another drop, oh, there you see, there you're going to see like see the white color, right? So changing your energy, it's not like, you know, it's not like 5 seconds, it's not 5 minutes, and it's not even like, you know, five. It's something that you need to do like an ongoing basis, right? But I'm telling you, like if you are going to practice being in the moment, right? Because I said it and I'm going to say it again. Most of our problems come from our mind because our mind mostly where in the past or in the future, right? So if you want
Yeah.
to fix it, the present moment, right? It just it
Ex-
you don't have to be like even spiritual to believe it. It's just like common sense, right? Because we know
Exactly.
ourselves, and you know, most of the day we are thinking, we are anxious about the future, right? Or we are worried about what's going to happen, or we are thinking about what happened, or I should have done this, or oh my God. And we are rarely being in the present moment. But the present moment is actually your rescuer. I'm telling you, maybe it sounds like extreme, but you the present moment is something that really saved me when I was like at, you know, at really like um periods in my life that I was really like down, you know.
hmm
So the only constant that you have, it's the present moment. So even just so you can use your five senses, when you touch something, because when you or you put your focus on your breath, because when you do it, you're taking your consciousness and you take the fuel, right? And instead of fueling the past or the future in your mind, you're fueling the present moment, and you feel like you're going to feel more calm, and you're going to feel more relaxed just because you are focusing on the present moment right now. And there's a beautiful question that Eckhart Tolle is saying on his book, The Power of Now. And I'm asking this question all the time, like, what problem do you have right now? Not 5 minutes from now, not an hour from now, everyone, not a week from now. What problem do you have right now? What problem do you have right now, Marnie? None, right?
what problem do I have right at this very second?
Right. Yes.
We're just
Yeah,
flowing.
but our mind is going to project it to the future. Oh, 5 minutes from now, oh, I need to get this done, or next week. That's okay to plan for the future or even to plan for your goals and desires. But in the process, you need to stay in the present moment, right? And not
Exactly.
projecting ourselves, because we tend to project ourselves to the future. Oh, it's going to be awesome when I'm going to achieve it or whatever, and we don't really because when you are going to be in the present moment, the outcome will take care of itself, because it's not about achieving the goal, it's about how what is your energy and your mindset while you are on the process to achieving your goals. It's who you become in the process.
Yeah, because we're always in a state of becoming, so here's the thing. So we kind of went over this briefly. We're understanding why it is that overthinking and that
Mm-hmm.
downward energy spiral that it can send you into happens. So the mind, your mind, the one that's tasked to keep you safe, wants to protect you
Yes,
from any possible future pain or uncertainty, because it doesn't like that. It likes a comfort zone. And comfort zones are good, but nothing grows there. You don't advance in a
exactly.
comfort zone. It's a good place to take a pause. It's all right, but nothing grows there. And when nothing grows there, this is where this kind of stuff tends to happen. So, and overthinking, it can be linked to like caring too much about something, or being sensitive too much to something, being attached to an outcome that you're not sure
Exactly.
is going to come out. That attachment is what causes a lot of the overthinking. You're analyzing what you can do
Exactly.
to make sure that this certain thing that you're worried about that could possibly happen in the future does not come to pass or comes to fruition. And you have to recognize your power isn't behind you. Your power isn't really in front of you. Your power is in this very second, in this moment, when you're doing the overthinking deal, falling down
Exactly.
that downward spiral. So,
And you know what you said,
yeah,
like attachment, it's a big one.
it
Because
is.
think about if you don't have attachment, you're just okay, you're just going to live in the moment. I'm not worried about anything because I
Right.
don't care what's going to happen and I don't care what just happened. So I'm not saying completely to be like clueless, right? And to
Exactly.
live like in the void, like, oh, I don't care what's going to happen. You are aware what's happening. You're doing the things that you need to do. And also, because think about it, most of our thinking, our overthinking, is just things that we don't have control over. It's not that you
Yeah.
think about something, okay, like let's say like 4% of your thoughts are something about that you really need to do. Okay, this is my schedule. Okay, this is what I need to do, or whatever. But the rest of it, the one that really get us anxious and worried, are things that we don't have really control over. And
Yes.
that's why the anxiety, and that's why we feel like lost, and we feel like in a loop of overthinking, because the mind knows that you don't have control over this thing, because there's nothing that you can do right now about the situation that you're thinking about. But maybe there is, maybe sometimes we have like overthinking because something's just, telling us, there's something I said it, that you need to address. So maybe it's going to propel you into like some kind of action, right? But the action needs to be not from a place of anxiety. Like you can just be aware of, okay, what is like this trigger? Why am I overthinking about it? Maybe I need to communicate something to someone. Maybe I need to create boundaries, right? Because if something keep like bugging your brain, there's something that you need to address, right? But so if something like really bothering you, there's like two things that you can do. You can do some kind of action about it, right? But not
Hmm.
from a place of anxiety. Just be aware and be present, and then, okay, what can I do maybe that will help me like to fix this situation, right? So, but if there is nothing that you can do about it, just put it aside. Because, right, because overthinking just going to create. So now, if like there's some kind of situation like in my life or something that I overthink about, I ask myself, okay, Limor, can you do something about it? Can you change it? So if the answer is yes, so I'm thinking about, okay, I can do A, B, C, right? But if not, so I just, either you're going to change it or either you're going to accept it. But most of us stuck in the middle of overthink about it. Oh, no, no, I can't do it. What's going to happen? You know, and whatever, whatever. You know what I'm saying? So
Exactly.
if there's something, some kind of subject that you really overthink about it like so much, so ask yourself, can you do something to change it? If so, take some kind of action.
You know,
I'm telling
this
you
is
today,
all of this is just teaching us to go with the flow, right?
exactly. Like we tried to start this like for 5 times today, and I don't know.
That's okay.
So,
That is
so if
okay.
something, yes, so if something is triggering you, you have two choices, right? Instead of complaining about it or to feel like anxiety about it, two choices. You can change it or you can accept it. And sometimes even the most powerful manifestation and changes come from accepting a situation.
Mhm.
This is like
Exactly.
really powerful. Surrender into what's happening right now. Because when you surrender from this place of, sometimes it's just out of your hand, right? Because if it involves like someone else, or you don't have control over it, right? But when you do have control over it, just pause for a minute, accept the situation, right? And from a place of calmness and from a place of acceptance, ask yourself if there's something that you can do to change it.
Exactly.
And a
So
lot of the
the
time we know the answer, but sometimes we just don't want to deal with it, right? There's a beautiful
true.
quote that, because when something is like bothering us, we start to complain about it, and we start to talk with our friends about it. Oh my god, you know what happened? Oh my god. And it's just not going to get you anywhere, right? It's just not going to get you anywhere. You just, like you said, you have to pull the plug, right?
Exactly.
There's a beautiful quote. Hi everyone. That complaint is poverty and gratitude is richness. So now, even if something happens, right, and uh, first your emotions and your thoughts are valid, right? I'm not I'm not telling you just start to be aware of them. I'm not telling you that just to turn your back, right? I'm just telling you to be aware of them and then accepting. And from this place of acceptance, start moving forward and to ask yourself if there's something that you can do, right? But don't start to complain about it, because, when we complain about something, we are not giving thanks to this what's happening. It doesn't matter what happening. There's a quote from Buddha. I'm going to maybe to post this quote. Let's just all be grateful, right? Because if you didn't learn something today, you learned a little. So if you didn't learn a little, right, so at least you have your health. But if you got sick, at least you didn't die, right? This like, so just be grateful, because if you are grateful under any circumstances, and I experienced like in my own life, when I like experience like if I like weren't feeling well or something, if I put my awareness or put my focus on the I'm not feeling well, or what is happening, why is it happening to me, right? But when I started to shift my focus to gratitude, so I'm not feeling well, but most of my body is like working pretty well. So just be grateful for the thing that you do have, and the universe will give you more things to be grateful for. Yes.
Right. So we're talking about doing the overthinking. If you're just joining in, and everybody that's here, hi. Um,
And feel free to
so
ask question in the chat. Mm-hmm.
So we're understanding why it is that it happens. Now, most of us we're just beginning like a spiritual awakening, an awareness, and we're watching now. We're observing when our mind just starts to go a little haywire with the overthinking. So we're understanding why it is that it happens. It's because your mind wants to keep you safe, right? The tools that you can use to help break out of that overthinking doom loop, you know, you can become aware of the thought, you can stop, you can take thoughtful breaths and just concentrate on the breathing. If you like to write things down, write down what it is that you get it out, acknowledge
Right,
it, sort of thing. Walking, doing some stretches, or like a fidget toy, just something that's going to take you out of the mind and
right.
bring you into a moment, into the now, sort of thing.
In the
And
present moment, because like we said, our mind mostly in the past or in the future. So if you want to feel like calm and relaxed, the present moment is your answer, right? It's not just a cliche or new age or oh mindfulness, right? And stuff. No, no, right? It's like being grateful. Like being grateful is a technology. Being grateful, it's not like being nice, you know, because think about it. If you want, because when we are anxious, we're anxious about things that we want to achieve, right? Or
mhm,
what's going to happen and stuff, right? So if you are practice gratitude before you receive the thing that you want, because sometimes when we say thank you, it's because we already received something, right? So think about it. If you are telling yourself thank you in advance for the thing that you want to achieve, instead replace the anxiety with gratitude. So if you're going to replace it with gratitude, you're going to feel much better. But why do I say that it's a technology? Because if the universe is just one big copying machine, right? Copies your energy back to you, and you're saying you being grateful, and you're saying thank you for the things that you want to achieve instead of being in your head and being anxious about it. So what you are projecting to the universe that you are good, that you already have it, right? Because you say thank you, right? So if you
yeah,
say thank you, it means that you already have it. So if you are going, that's the energy that you are going to project to the universe, right? The universe
exactly.
will going to reflect it back to you, and you're going to experience the thing that you're really anxious about, right?
Exactly. So the thing is that the long and the short of it is as well, and you were mentioning this, is changing your relationship with the thoughts that come up, be they intrusive thoughts, be it overthinking, whatever it is. Um, so this was really really cool, and this took me kind of a minute to really understand, but observing your thoughts without the judgment, like clouds passing in the sky. Wow.
Yes,
Like, does that not just blow your mind? Like, take yourself out of your thoughts, take it out of that fear loop and observe, basically, and just you don't judge it, kind of thing, which is just really really neat. You don't force solutions, sort of thing. You give thanks in advance for the solution. The solution usually presents itself at the most opportune
right. And
time.
and the basic stuff, if someone telling me, oh, Limo, this is hard, I know what you're saying, but this is hard. Like, I don't feel like I have control, like, with my thought. So just practicing being aware, right? So how do you practice? How do you have the awareness to catch yourself? Because you need awareness to catch yourself, right? Because the problem that we are so we believe everything that's going through our minds, and we think that we are one with our mind, right? So that's why we are looping into like a negative spiral because of it. So how do you have the awareness to catch yourself? Practice being in the present moment, because when you are being in the present moment, you expand your consciousness. So think about it like your consciousness is like the ocean, right? And your mind is just a tool, it's like the wave. It's like a little wave, right? But we are trained and programmed to put our focus on our mind, right? It's not really our fault, right? So when you are practicing being in the present moment, you expand your awareness. And when you expand your awareness, you like become the ocean. And when you become the ocean, there's like a little wave that it's like a one, negative thoughts. It's not going to affect you that much, and you're going to start to be aware, right? So your goal
Yeah.
right now is just to expand your awareness, and you're doing your expand your awareness by practicing being in the present moment. How do I practice in being in the present moment? You start to be the observer of your thoughts or your emotion. You start to use your five senses, right? So if like something you're feeling like you have like a negative thought, right? Start to use your five senses. And one of them is like, you can also use breathing. And why do I say breathing? Because people really don't understand. Oh, take a deep breath, take a deep breath. They think it's like some like, kind of like 2 cents like it of advice, right? But think about it, like you can we can do it right now. If you are taking a deep breath, right? Like let's close our eyes and take a deep breath, right? And put your focus and awareness on breathing, right?
Mhm.
For 2 seconds, when you put your focus on the breath, right? Were you thinking any thought? No. But you're like saying, oh, Limo, it's just 2 seconds, right? Yeah, for now it's 2 seconds. But if you're going to practice it, right, day in, day out, it's not going to be 2 seconds. It's going to be more and more and more and more. And then, right, and then when like negative thought or something will pass, float by, you're going just to laugh at it or whatever. Oh my God, now I'm not going to stress about it, but it requires an energy shift, and energy shift is something that we need to build like over time. But I promise you right now, if like only for 5 minutes a day you're going to practice being mindful, like if you are taking the I don't know, if you are going up a staircase of something, just put your awareness on the staircase, like like the elderly, you see them. I have so much respect for them. They're moving so slow because they can't move faster, but they're so like present because they have to be present, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to consciously choose to slow down, consciously choose to be present, right? Consciously choose, like, if you are, let's say, at a red stopping light and you are in your car, just focus on the red light. I'm telling you, just look at the sky. It's like looking at the ocean, right? There's a reason that people feel calm when they look at the ocean or the sky, because
Yeah.
of the space, right? It's like a feeling of expansion, and you expand your awareness. And when you expand your awareness, you're going to feel more calm over time. I'm telling you, I promise you, because I experienced it. My energy was like all over the place. And once I like, hit rock bottom, I started to practice mindfulness. I started to listen to the book The Power of Now, which I recommend everyone. It's like the basic, and like with like few weeks, and then like I felt better. And like after 9 months, I was like completely different person just by practicing it. And the irony is, when you are in sync with the present moment, because our subconscious mind lives in the present moment. If you are in the manifesting, you have like on a manifest, you are in the manifesting journey. Your manifestation are just going to start to come to you without you even trying, because you're going to be so aligned with the present moment. So it's like, oh my God, so much benefits just from being present.
So I know
I'm
we're gonna
sorry,
have to
I
go
just
soon.
talked so much. I was like in the flow, Melanie.
That's okay. That's okay. So I just aside from Eckhart Tolle, there's a really good quote from Louise Hay, where if you're getting into the overthinking thing and you're kind of starting to panic and you're going on that downward spiral, and I'd like for people to look it up. You can Google it, but it says, I am safe. I am safe. You know, things are working out for me only to my highest good, and out of this situation,
Exactly.
only good will come, and I am safe. It's repeating the I am safe a few times and really
Exactly.
taking that in. And so basically, when you start overthinking, number one, notice that you're overthinking. Number two, take a deep breath and take a step back and observe where that overthinking thought is coming from. It doesn't have power over you. It's just your mind wanting to keep you safe in all possible scenarios that it can generate. But
Exactly.
but you don't exist there. You don't need to stay there. You don't need to operate from that fight
Exactly.
or flight fear movement sort of thing. And this is an exercise. It's something that you're going to have to keep repeating
Exactly.
to get better at it. But, celebrate the small wins, because noticing that you're overthinking and noticing that you need to observe those thoughts, huge, huge wins. So make sure you give yourself a
Right.
couple of thumbs up for that. That's a good thing.
Right. So when you start to lose your, to lose it, right? Or you feel like the negative thoughts, like, all over in your consciousness, your mind, all over the place. If you want to have the awareness, because it's hard, right, to catch yourself, you have
Yes,
to practice it when everything is calm and cool. Like when you're just chilling, start to practice mindfulness, right? So when you practice it, you have like an energy bank, right?
you do.
So you're going to add more energy to your bank when everything is good and everything is calm. Just practice it, right? Because you're going to add more energy to your bank, and then at the moment of truth, you will have this energy, right? To be aware and to catch yourself. But you have to, to put like a lot of energy, in your bank account, in your universal bank account. How do you do it? When everything is good, start to practice things. Start to touch something, start to like stare at a tree, right? Go to nature, right? Smell something good, right? Use your five senses. And when you do it, when everything is cool, this is going to be your lifeline when everything is not cool.
So this was a great topic, Lamore. Do you have any closing thoughts before I have to sign off?
Yes, so if you just take one thing from this life, right, and it's really hard for you, and you're on a negative loop, one thing, instead of resisting it, accept it. And just by accepting it, it's going to change. So if you feel like a lot of resistance, right, and you tell me, oh, I can't do all these things, start to become friends with your mind, right? And stop to resist it, because when you become friends and when you accept what's happening, there is no resistance. You're not going to fuel it, and you're going to feel more calm.
Yep, exactly. So all good stuff. All good stuff. Well, thanks so much for the live today, Lamore.
Yeah, Manny, thank you. So you have like a closing line?
Um, nope, this is just it's something that I have had for all my life, and I've only recently really started questioning and taking myself out of panic mode.
Yes.
So and I find like this is stuff that I can relate to, and it's awesome. But thank you so much, and
Yeah,
thank
thank you so
everybody for
much.
joining
Remember,
us.
you are safe. You don't have a problem right now. And if you have a challenge, it's not a problem. is just an event that you need to address. This is how you address problems, right? Thank you very much,
Let's do our little heart.
honey.
Bah. And
Yeah.
back yours up. Back yours up.
Yes.
And ta-da! There we go.
So
All right.
thank you for
Thanks.
watching.
Bye,
If you have
everybody.
questions watching the replay, feel free to ask questions. Thank you so much.
All
Sending you
right.
so much love.
Thanks.
Bye bye.
Bye.